Welcome everyone. Today we are talking about Zcash, money so private not even you will know that you have it. Before we get into what Zcash is, a quick reminder that you are seriously awesome. I love you, and please remember, I am not your financial advisor and this is not financial advice. I'm just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies on the internet. Furthermore, this is an unpaid review of Zcash and I do not currently hold any Zcash. Zcash shares a lot of the same awesomeness as Bitcoin, permissionless, distributed, all that fun stuff, but it uses the zero cash protocol. And in spite of the recent popularity of zero knowledge, succinct, non-interactive argument of knowledge, or otherwise known as ZK snarks, Zcash was the first on the scene using this technology. Zcash offers the option, yes, it is only optional, for shielded transactions, which means that by using the ZK tech, transactions can be fully encrypted on the blockchain and yet still be verified as valid. Essentially, we can transact with each other without our addresses being visible to everyone, nor how much we transacted being visible to everyone. Also, without knowing how much money I have or you have. Essentially, serious ducking privacy tech here, guys. Zcash is a proof of work coin running on the Equihash algorithm. While it was initially thought that this algorithm would prove to be ASIC resistant, as ZK transactions are very memory intensive and well suited to GPU mining, however, this turned out to not be the case, with the network now running up to 30% on ASICs or specialized mining computers, a number which is likely to grow as time moves on. In spite of earlier rhetoric about being resistant to these big mining guilds, Zcash seems to be going with the flow versus standing up to these mining cartels like Monero did, much to the dismay of many small home miners. So what is new with Zcash? Well, the most recent upgrade to Zcash is called Sapling. Sapling is the culmination of 2 years of development. The Sapling upgrade has brought significant network upgrades. Previously, a shielded transaction took 2 to 3 gigabytes of memory. Now it is a mere 60 megabytes. This has in effect cut transaction times down from around 40 seconds to 5 seconds. Addresses are also dropping from 95 characters to 78 characters. This network upgrade was aimed at making private transactions more regular and user-friendly, with the lighter framework making mobile wallets possible, thus making it likely that we will see an uptick in the private Z addresses. Although this upgrade is not without drama, as the migration from the old Sprout network to the Sapling network cannot be done in a shielded transaction, and thus all addresses will be made transparent until moved to a new address in Sapling. This is part of a chain audit and is unlikely to disturb most of the Zcash community, but there will be some who are, of course, not a fan of this temporary transparency. Sapling has been a big focus for a long time, and thus we don't have much in the way of future goals on the horizon for Zcash at this time. But an interesting one is blind off-chain lightweight transactions bolt for sort, essentially a privacy-preserving second layer solution, or if you like, the Lightning Network for Zcash, a tech that others will be able to implement on their coins as well, a theme which the Zcash team continues to move forward with in terms of helping other projects implement the technology they develop on their chains. For example, we see ZK snarks on Ethereum and Quorum, although we have seen dissenting voices in the Zcash community forking off to make Z Classic and later Bitcoin Private, both of which have been unable to build any kind of strong, relevant communities around them, at least up to this point. Also, we have seen Zcash be the source of many successful projects like Zen and Komodo. So what are my concerns about Zcash? Privacy is only optional. It's not always on like it is with Monero, for example. This has its pros and cons, but for the real privacy aficionado, this is something to keep in mind. But it is actually useful to sometimes send a transparent transaction. And it is worth noting that mined coins are born private, and if sent only in shielded transactions, they spend their whole lives in anonymity. Minus the sapling upgrade, of course. There are so many, of course, privacy competitors out there. We can look to Monero and PivX, both of which offer strong privacy technology, as well as the rise of privacy platforms like WanChain and Dusk, plus a snarky Ethereum. All of these putting the pressure on old Zcash because the privacy field is super competitive and ever changing. Time will, of course, tell if Zcash has the staying power with all this competition around or not. The founder reward, 10% of the total coins mined over time with each block for the first 4 years. This makes a lot of people angry. Me, I don't really care personally. Lots of projects have a founder reward. It isn't lifetime, it's only 4 years. And if you don't like it, use another coin. Still, it has had a negative PR effect with many people believing a large pile of misinformation spread about the details and the reality of this founder's reward. The reality is that a portion of this 10% goes to a diverse array of parties, from the foundation and company to early investors. This steady income for the company actually helps to maintain a solid group of paid developers and scientists to continue network upgrades. How do you think sapling happened? In fact, far from the FUD around the evil of the founder's reward, investors should instead be focusing on how is the network going to maintain itself after this block reward finishes, as it has been essential in funding the development of Zcash up to this point. While there have been no regulatory moves by governments against privacy coins, it does remain an ever-present threat for all privacy coins in the community because of the nature of the technology. Even though, as advertised, these are all fungible coins and a current coin is not linked to the past of that coin due to the technology, but you will still have politicians and blowhards out there screaming about drugs and money laundering and all that fun stuff. Now on to the opportunities of Zcash. Zcash rocked the crypto world when it hit the markets, trading at 6 Bitcoin per ZEC for a short moment before crashing super hard. At the start of this year, we saw Zcash dollar highs over $800 and Bitcoin highs over 5 million Satoshis. Moving forward, Zcash will likely return good profits to investors since it has a strong community and exceptional development team, excellent liquidity, powerful technology, and a low supply and slow emission rate, all of which combine together to make Zcash an attractive coin for a long-term hold and accumulation at current price points. Rather interesting. But of course, those are just my 2 Satoshis on Zcash. You'll let me know what you think about Zcash down below in the comment section. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to stay up to date with what's happening in crypto. Join the conversation over on Twitter. Long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.